"You will not expose anything," says the man. The woman in pink, without understanding, asks what he means by that. The man asks if she did not understand. He did not come to do business with a woman. Still not understanding, the woman says that her company just sent her to talk about the project. Once again, the man says he will not talk to a woman to tell his company that he will talk about the project with her. For woman was made only for cleaning, cooking and staying indoors. But that although a woman like her was also made for some more things, but not for business. The indignant woman asks the man to treat her with more respect. He replies that he does not owe him respect, that as far as he knows it is she who owes him respect. She is the one who needs his signature, so that they tell his company that until they send a worthy man he will not sign the project. For this kind of meeting it takes men and not women. The two women in the room look indignantly. He then turns to another woman saying he wants her to give him a massage. She awkwardly and clearly feeling bad doesn't get up right away. This causes her boss to aggressively yell at the employee, asks if she doesn't listen, so she gets up and gives her a massage. The two women don't believe what's going on. The man then states saying that women are only for things like that. The two get up and leave the room. Mayara, the other employee, continues to massage her boss, showing complete disgust at what she is doing. We see the two of them who have left the room. The woman asks if Arthur, the man who accompanies her, saw the way that man treated her. He asks for calm to his colleague, but she continues, says that he has no idea how many nights he lost so that he could finish the project. And he treated her like it was nothing. Arthur says he understands, but they need him, so she can take it easy because they're going to find a solution. She shakes her head and says she already has a solution, that he'll see what she's going to do. She pulls her phone out of her pocket. Arthur once again asks her not to worry. She then turns to make the call and we find out that she was calling her boss, who asks Luisa what she needs and how the meeting is going, if she has already managed to sign the contract. Luisa tries to explain herself by saying that the man treated her very badly, a true caveman, and that he did not accept to sign. Her boss says he doesn't care how the man has treated her, that he just needs the signed contract, nothing more. She once again tries to explain herself, but her boss says once again that it doesn't interest him, that he needs the signed contract and that she gives it her way. She says it's okay and hangs up. Arthur asks what his boss said. Luisa responds by saying that her boss warned that if she does not take the signature of that man the company will fail. Arthur says that it cannot stay that way and that they need a solution. She agrees and says that they really need it, but that she has an idea of what to do. The scene cuts and we see Luisa on the phone talking about the project and Arthur with a headset repeating everything he is told. He talks about how the project is sustainable and that all the risk factors are already presented within the project folder and have already been taken into account. The man asks how they can assure him that in the future he will not have problems, so that the cleaning does not lose his economy. Arthur opens the project and says that in those papers everything is marked, including the possible risks that it can bring. That he can rest easy sitting in your company, that their project is perfect. The man with the face of whom he does not believe asks if the project is so perfect, what would be the amount to be paid for something like that? We see Luisa and she responds saying it is 2,200,000 a year approximately. Arthur passes on the information and the two are waiting. The man stands up and says he's going to sign. Arthur stands up and greets the man. The owner of the company then turns to Mayara and says that this is a real business, man to man. He turns to Arthur and says that the only thing left is for him to meet with his boss so they can celebrate. He replies that he will do it so that he does not worry. The man says that Arthur's project was perfect. He then asks for permission to be able to call his boss. Arthur leaves the room and goes to Luisa saying that their plan worked. They hug happily. Luisa says she will call her boss, that he will be very happy with the news. Arthur tells her not to worry, that he's already doing it. He then puts himself on the phone saying that everything went well and that he needs him to go to the place to finish. We see the scene cut and their boss appear asking who he should congratulate him. Luisa tries to say that it is for both of them, but Arthur cuts off his speech and says that he should thank only him, because he was the one who convinced him to sign. Luisa shouts, asked what he means. Without a second thought, Arthur says that yes, he was the one who made him sign. His boss congratulates Arthur, that when they return to the office he will give him his promotion. The boy thanks him and calls his boss saying that they are waiting for the two of them. Luisa, almost crying, asks how he had the courage to do such a thing. That this is happening just because she's a woman, that this was one of the best projects of her life and her boss isn't recognizing her. Why would he do such a thing? She tries to calm herself down by saying that it won't stay that way, that she's going to do something. We see the people inside the room. The man with the contract in hand says he has no fault in what was presented to him. Arthur tells Luke, the man, that yes, there are no flaws in his design. Lucas then goes on to tell the other boss that from the first moment his employee presented the project, he was charmed. The other man says yes, that Arthur is a great employee and that in addition to all this he is loyal to the company. Lucas then asks him to start signing the contract. When Louisa opens the door and enters the room saying that this project is hers, Arthur stands up asking Louisa for calm, saying that the agreement is that that project would be his and so that she does not interrupt. The chief then asks the owner of the other company not to worry and asks Louisa to leave the room. Even more upset, Louisa asks why she should withdraw if she was the one who did the project. Arthur asks if she doesn't realize she's getting in the way of the project. Once again the two ask Louisa to leave. Lucas then asks someone to explain what's going on. Says that this situation embarrasses him, to see a simple employee like that coming to interrupt the negotiations of serious men. That he as the owner of the company should better control his employees. The boss responds by saying that Louisa has 10 years working with him. Lucas is discredited and asks if at the age of 10 she still doesn't know who is in charge of the company. That women were born only to serve them and nothing else. Lucas then says that he will sign the contract only if he fires Louisa. The man asks if he's serious about it and Luke replies by saying yes. The man says he's being put in a difficult situation, that he doesn't know what to do. Lucas says he has no interest in his apology, that he's already given his terms. The boss then turns to Louisa, says that he has a lot of affection for her, but that before that the company comes first, and that she's sorry, but she's fired. Louisa doesn't believe what she's hearing, asks if he's really going to fire her for no reason. He just apologizes again and asks her to leave once again. Mayera, who until then had been silent next to Luke, he begins to clap his hands congratulating her, telling Louisa not to go anywhere and for her to stay there. Louisa's boss then asks Lucas what's going on, but before she can continue Mayera says she's going to introduce herself. She is Mayera Azevedo, director and owner of the company. Without understanding, the man then asks who would be this man named Lucas. Mayera responds saying that he is her secretary and says that even, turning to him, have not liked the massages he asked for. That after they will talk about it. Lucas apologizes and says that it was mistake that ended up getting too much into the role that was given to him. Louisa's boss then apologizes to Mayera, says he had no knowledge of who she was. Mayera, without accepting the apology, asks if he really was willing to send his best employee away, someone who is 10 years with him, for a reason like this, that it is not possible that he does not value the effort and dedication that she has shown in these last 10 years. That all women deserve respect. The man tries to explain himself, but Mayera soon cuts off his speech, says that he will not sign his contract with a company like his. The boss asks for calm once again and for her to sign the contract so that they forget all this that happened. She slaps her hand from the table and says she doesn't intend to work with either of them. Arthur, not understanding, asks if she meant he's part of one of those two. Mayera replies that yes, so does he. That Louisa is responsible for that project. Arthur tries to justify himself by saying he knows the whole project and that he was the one who presented it. Mayera agrees, but says it was just that, he only presented the bill and at no point defended his colleague. She then asks them both to withdraw from her company, otherwise she will ask her security guards to do so. The two say it won't be necessary and that they will already withdraw. After the two of them leave, Louisa tries to apologize for everything that happened. Mayera says that she does not need to apologize, that it was not her fault, it was they who did not know how to value her. She then asks if Louisa would like to be part of her company. With a smile on her face, Louisa asks if she's serious. Mayera says yes. Louisa then accepts. Her new boss welcomes her and asks Lucas to show her the company and the company's HR. Lucas says he will be happy to do so. Louisa then thanks her for the opportunity she is giving her. Mayera just says she's a great professional.